I'm Brock Woodhouse with WNN, the Wildcat News Network, here with this week's edition of the Woodhouse Report. Lots of great wins and lots of tough losses took place for Marcellus this past week. Homecoming festivities took place and the Cats had plenty of ups and downs. We are covering it all and plenty more today on the Woodhouse Report. Basketball has had quite a week. Here with more on that is Aiden Cadwell with sports.
Thank you, Brock. Your boys' basketball season unfortunately came to an end February 23rd in a hard-fought game to the Burr Oak Bobcats. Ultimately falling short in overtime, the score was 54-58. We want to thank our boys for their dedication to Wildcat sports and good luck for their next season. Girls' basketball is still alive. They just put on an impressive performance, beating the Hartford Huskies 42-33. Thursday, they played a tough Cassopolis team to close the season, ending on a 28-51 loss. Your girls will compete in the first round of the district tournament tonight, March 2nd, against the Howardsville Christian Eagles. Travel on down to White Pigeon to support your Lady Cats, and remember that all tournament game tickets must be purchased through the app GoFan. That's all we have for basketball. Sports reporter Aiden Cadwell, here's Memory Sylvester with wrestling.
On February 21st, the boys wrestled at Martin for regionals, with Brock Woodhouse being regional champ and Marvin Jones losing in the blood rounds. On February 22nd, the girls wrestled at Portage Northern for their regionals, with Michaela McWilliams losing in the blood rounds also. Brock will be wrestling state March 6th and 7th at Ford Field in Detroit. Now back to Brock.
Thank you, Memory. We now have a special guest joining us today, the Southwestern Michigan College Director of Dual Enrollment. I am joined today by SMC Dual Enrollment Director, Mrs. Julianne Jankowski. Thank you, Julianne, for joining us. It is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. So before we start, will you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Sure. Well, I am currently, as you mentioned, Director of Dual Enrollment at Southwestern Michigan College, and I've worked in higher education for over 10 years. Also spent about 10 years in radio and television, which was a very fun time, and then another 10 or so years in leadership development with leadership programs. So I love working with high school students. That is definitely a passion of mine. All three of my children are now either in college or grown, so I love being able to work with all the high school students in our area.
Absolutely. So SMC Southwestern Michigan College partners with Marcellus to offer the students a chance to dual enroll. Will you tell us what dual enrollment is?
Yes. Dual enrollment is when high school students not only take high school classes, but also classes at the college.
Yes.
And oftentimes they're able to get credit for both. So they'll get the college credit and also be able to use that for some of their high school credits as well. So it saves time, it saves money for parents and students. Though it is really a win-win for everyone.
Yes. It is a wonderful program. So you guys work with Heritage Southwest ISD. How closely related are the two of your guys' programs?
Oh, we are very, very strong partners. The ISD recruits students for the career academies, which there's business, automotive, electrical and automation technology, welding. There's so many different career academy programs.
Yes.
And so those students then take the classes at Southwestern Michigan College.
Mm-hmm.
And so we work very closely together to make sure those students are successful and then obtain either a certificate or associate degree, whatever their long-term plan is.
Right. So you mentioned something about associate's degree. That is a thing that people can get. What would you say is one of the other main advantages of students looking to dual enroll at SMC?
Well, it definitely provides you with the opportunity to try out college while you're still in high school, and you have that safety net. You still have your parents there. You have a lot of supports from the college, and if you are a Career Academy student, the support from the ISD as well. So it's a very safe environment to give you the confidence and the ability to enroll in those courses and experience the rigor, so that when you do go off either into the workplace or to a four-year university, you are going to be prepared.
Yes.
And so that is a big advantage for dual enrolling, most definitely.
Absolutely. So what are the different kinds of classes people can take at SMC?
They can pretty much take almost everything that we offer. We really concentrate, though, on the Michigan Transfer Agreement for those students who want to attend a four-year university after they finish at SMC. And if they take 10 courses that are outlined in that Michigan Transfer Agreement, that is like your first year of college classes. So like my son did, it was in Indiana, he did dual credit, which is the same thing as dual enrollment, pretty much. And so he was able, when he went to college, to start as a sophomore in terms of his credits.
Yes.
But he still qualified for all the freshman scholarships and everything like that. So again, saving that time and money.
Absolutely. That can help a lot of different people out in a lot of ways, because I know a lot of people struggle with a lot of the workload, especially freshman year. So having the experience and already some of the credits out of the way will help tremendously with a lot of students. So that is awesome. So why would you recommend dual enrollment for students? I know we just talked about some things. Why would you personally recommend it?
Well, I know we didn't have dual enrollment when I was in high school, but I know the summer after I graduated, I was so nervous about going to college, and I took a class at SMC to get experience in that area. And again, it made all the difference in terms of the confidence, and I really truly believed it helped me to succeed. And our dual enrolled students not only get that confidence, but they also are able to accumulate credits, so they're going to save that money and the time. So like, for instance, I go back to my son, and all my children did dual enrollment in one way or another, but he was able now to participate in a lot more clubs, a lot more activities. He doesn't have to take such a heavy credit load each semester, so that's another benefit. And the universities love to see dual enrolled students and treat them very favorably, because they've already proven that they can be successful in college, and that makes a big difference when it comes to applying to those universities.
Absolutely. So how can someone who's interested in this program start taking classes?
Okay, that is a very easy process. The first thing that any high school student would want to do is talk to their counselor.
Yes.
We work very closely with the counselors. They'll help the students to fill out an application to SMC, and then we go to all the high schools and register the students for their classes for fall and for spring. And we also work with them on a plan, like what is your goal, and help them to achieve whatever that goal may be.
Right.
And the ISD does the same thing, so they come when we come, and we work very closely together.
Absolutely. So that all sounds wonderful. I think that letting some people know about dual enrollment will get more people trying to get into it, because it is a great program. So yeah, thank you for coming in and talking about it.
Thank you, Brock, and we're glad you're a dual enrolled student as well.
Yes, I am. I do not have the pleasure of working with you. I am with the ISD, which is also another great program to get into. But yeah, any of that, any time that you can try to knock out some college credits early on and start working on stuff before you have to actually get in and get going really heavy in the first time you've ever done anything is awesome. So it's absolutely a great program. So yes, anybody else that has more questions about it too, Mrs. Maria Kulka, the school counselor, will be absolutely willing to help answer any questions for students. That is about all the time that we have today. Thank you so much, Julianne, for joining us. Appreciate it a lot. We now have a message from one of our sponsors, Amy's Diner.
Hungry after work, hungry after school, hungry before and after the game, or just always hungry? Swing into Amy's Fabulous Diner right here in Marcellus for home-style food, friendly faces, big portions that actually fill you up. Even better, Amy's Fabulous Diner is now open until 7 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday, perfect for post-practice, post-game, post-work, and I don't feel like cooking. Order online, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for that grab-and-go need. Amy's Fabulous Diner, 591 West Main, Marcellus, open Tuesday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 8 to 2. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Amy's Fabulous Diner, and we'll feed you later.
Up next, Band with a Koi Goodlow.
The Marcel's Music Department presented its annual pre-festival concert last Wednesday. The concert is a dress rehearsal for the band's festival performances where they are judged on how well we perform 3 pieces of music. The high school concert band travels to St. Joseph High School Tuesday, March 3rd and will play at 10:15 a.m. The middle school band goes to Lake Michigan College for festival on Wednesday, March 11th and will play at 10:55 a.m. The Jazz Ensembles Festival is coming up in April. Here now are some highlights from last week's concert. From first, the Jazz Ensemble, followed by the middle school band, and then the high school concert band. All festival performances are free and open to the public. We hope to see you there. I'm McCoy Goodlow, reporting for WNN, the Wildcat News Network.
Thank you, Akoi. Lots of things are happening in Marcellus soon. Here with more are community reporters Haley and Charlotte.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm Charlotte.
With this week's community news. There is still time to field a team for Trivia Night, Saturday, March 7th at VFW Post 4054 in Marcellus.
The event is a fundraiser for the sophomore class to help cover the costs of prom.
Doors open at 6 p.m. for a silent auction and trivia begins at 7.
For more information, just contact sophomore class advisor Vicki Essex, vessex@marcelluscs.org. The Cass Family Clinic's mobile unit will be back in the area this month.
The mobile clinic is in Marcellus at the United Methodist Church, 197 West Main, Tuesday, March 3rd and March 17th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. The mobile clinic also makes a stop in Vandalia on Thursday, March 12th at Village Hall, and in Jones at the Newburgh Township Fire Hall on Tuesday, March 24th. Both locations will be open 8:30 to 4.
For an appointment, just phone 269-445-3874.
Marcellus VFW Post 4054 is inviting the public to the Post's 5th Annual St. Patrick's Day Party, Saturday, March 14th.
Enjoy an Irish stew dinner for just $10 from 5 to 7, then stick around for live music by now and then.
The Cass County Board of Commissioners is holding an informational session about policy and planning considerations related to data centers on Thursday, March 26th, 5 p.m. in the Commissioners' Chambers, 129 North Broadway, Cassopolis.
The public is welcome to attend and observe. However, those wishing to attend are asked to RSVP at the link on our screen, tinyurl.com/screenco-info-session RSVP.
This event will also be live streamed at youtube.com/CassCounty and MyGov. And if you're headed to the Kalamazoo area this week, be advised that MDOT is adding an auxiliary lane to northbound 131 between I-94 and Stadium Drive in Kalamazoo, beginning Monday, March 2nd.
They'll also be widening the westbound I-94 ramp to northbound 131.
Expect single-lane ramp closures throughout construction, which should be completed by mid-September. That's it for WNN's Community News. I'm Haley.
And I'm Charlotte reporting.
Since March is Reading Month, we want to say a big happy birthday to Dr. Seuss. Theodore Seuss Geisel was born on March 2nd, 1904. Dr. Seuss's books have been beloved by generations of young readers since his first book was published in 1937. Dr. Seuss, the king of many rhymes, has helped children learn many things about words such as alliteration and assonance. You know alliteration, when consonant sounds in two or more neighboring words or syllables are repeated. And of course, assonance, the relatively close juxtaposition of similar sounds, especially of vowels. See if you can identify them in an excerpt from Dr. Seuss's Fox and Socks. Through three cheese trees three free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, freezy breeze blew. Freezy breeze made these three trees freeze. Freezy trees made these trees cheese freeze. That's what made these three free fleas sneeze. Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss! Okay, wait, cook.
Thank you, Akoi. That's all that we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to WNN, the Wildcat News Network, for this week's edition of the Woodhouse Report. I'm Brock Woodhouse. Go Cats!
What's the word?
Impressive.
Oh, okay.
Impressive to performance. Impressive to performance. I'm trying to preface.
Mhm.
Alright.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm Charlotte.
This week's okay, Charlotte, you actually.
Concert is a dress rehearsal for the band's festival performances where they are judged.
Girls basketball's still alive. They just put on an impressive
You got it.
Bro, nah, this is crazy, bro. I should not be able to do this. Alright, cut it.
Okay, that was so good. That was so good.
Oh, man. Dang it.
Do you want me to?
Last cut.
Wait a second now.
We must have read over this because my part's under.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
You guys can laugh now.
You're like,
Reel it back in.